I'm Shelby County District Attorney Amy Wyrick. Today is World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, and I'm joined by my friends and partners in crime, Sheriff Bonner and FBI Special Agent in Charge, Doug Korneski, to highlight financial exploitation against our vulnerable adults.
Financial exploitation can occur over email, phone, text, or in person.
One of the first signs to look for as to whether or not this is a potential financial exploitation is whether or not that contact, that email, that text, that phone call, or someone showing up at your door is unsolicited. Did you reach out to this organization and ask for information, or has someone contacted you out of the blue?
We're here to give you some real life examples, what you should do if you're faced with unsolicited communications, and what to do if you fall victim to financial exploitation.
Scammers, or people looking to financially exploit you, will give you very convincing information. They may use personal information. They may use your son or granddaughter's name. Beware that no legitimate law enforcement organization or any government agency is ever going to ask you to show up in a parking lot with money. Sheriff's deputies, Memphis police officers, law enforcement officers, federal, state, and local are never going to contact you and ask for money. One of the most important things you can do to protect yourself and protect your family is to hang up and call back to the organization that allegedly reached out to you and independently verify that someone from the sheriff's office or the FBI or your bank is really trying to get a hold of you. There's nothing wrong with hanging up and verifying. Some of the other examples that you might hear on the phone is that you didn't come to court as a witness, and that if you don't show up with money or do the following things, you might be arrested by one of Sheriff Bonner's officers. You never have to come to court unless you have been subpoenaed to court. You will know if you have a court order to appear in court. And if no court has ever subpoenaed you, hang up. Ignore the advice and the threat to show up at a parking lot or to do whatever it is that the caller is asking you to do. The other scam that we hear often is in relation to jury duty. Same kind of thing. Someone's going to call you and say, you didn't show up for jury duty and you need to give us this amount of money or you'll be arrested. That's not how Sheriff Bonner and the men and women of the Sheriff's Office work. It's not how the court system works. If you've missed jury duty, you're going to know that you missed jury duty. And there's a number on the piece of paper to call to the jury commissioner and to confirm that. And the other one is that you need to pay somebody to make a warrant go away. We hear this a lot. Citizens who have given money, given gift cards, given money cards because someone called and said there was a warrant out for their arrest. Again, hang up, call back to the agency that is allegedly making this call and verify that there is a warrant out for your arrest. Do not give anyone any money.
The Sheriff's Office receives fraudulent phone calls, financial phone calls, at least once every 2.5 days. As the Attorney General said, it is very important for you to verify any phone calls that you get to solicit funds. If you get that phone call and you need to verify with the Sheriff's deputy, call 901-379-7625 to verify that someone from the Shelby County Sheriff's Office has contacted you, and no one would ever meet you on a parking lot. We would always come to your home or ask you to come to 201 Poplar.
Similarly, if an individual calls claiming to be an FBI agent, you can verify their identity by calling the local field office. If you don't know the number for the local field office, call 1-800-CALL-FBI, and they will connect you to that office. No agent would ever be offended if you wanted to verify their identity before calling them back. There are several types of financial scams perpetrated against our senior citizens. 3 of the most common include romance and confidence scams, technical support scams, and money mule scams. Last year, in 2020, our elderly victims lost over $280 million to romance scams. They lost over $116 million to technical support scams. In romance scams, the perpetrator will attempt to establish a romantic relationship or close personal relationship with the victim in order to get them to send money so that they can visit or be with them. In the technical support scams, the perpetrators will allege to be an information technology technician who can fix their computers, and when the victim allows them access to the computer, they can exploit it further for financial gain. And then the third category is money mules, where the perpetrator offers an incentive to the elderly individual to move money for them, and actually becomes part of the criminal activity by laundering funds for the perpetrator.
Some additional scams that we see in law enforcement are telemarketer scams, IRS and lottery scams. Again, if you fall victim to one of these types of scams, please contact law enforcement. Contact the Shelby County Sheriff's Office, contact the FBI or the Attorney General's office. We will get it to the appropriate law enforcement agency.
The Department of Justice has recently begun the Elder Justice Initiative, which focuses on all forms of elder abuse, from physical to psychological to economic and fraud and scams like we're talking about here today. These are serious crimes that target our most vulnerable citizens in the United States. The Department of Justice estimates that approximately 10% of our senior citizens have fallen victim to one of these fraudulent scams. The FBI continues to work with its local, state, federal, and international partners to try and bring these criminal actors to justice. One thing to be aware of is that oftentimes the perpetrators of these frauds are actually known to the victims. They are sometimes family members, friends, and close associates. And in those cases, more than 85% of the time, our senior victims fail to report those because of who the perpetrator is. We will provide contact information at the end of this video. 3 general categories to consider when making a complaint would be if you become an actual victim of crime where you have a loss. You should report that to your law enforcement at the numbers provided. In particular, the Department of Justice has established an elder fraud hotline. If you're a senior citizen or you know one who has become a victim, please use this number Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. to make a complaint. Lastly, if you just want to file a complaint about a general scam that you have not become a victim of, the Federal Trade Commission will take these reports. That information, again, will be provided at the end of this video.
We hope this information has helped. What we're trying to do is prevent any one of you in Shelby County from falling victim to these crimes. If you do fall victim to the crime, please call law enforcement and report it. The only way we can bring people to justice is first through you making that phone call and reporting it. Don't be embarrassed. Millions of people are victimized on a yearly basis. Do not be embarrassed, but please pick up the phone and call law enforcement. We hope what we've shared with you prevents you from ever being a victim. Again, if you are contacted by an organization that you have not reached out to, if someone calls you and says that they need you to do something, hang up, call back independently from the number that called you, and verify that this person is legitimate and that this request is legitimate. If someone shows up on your front step, don't answer the door. If someone sends you an email, ignore it. Do everything you can to protect yourself and do everything you can to protect your loved ones.